matching hundreds. It's a coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks as they get set to match up against the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Here come the Bengals now to take over. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Now let's go! 3-19!
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Now let's go!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And his pass incomplete. The starters defensively now for the Seahawks. Well, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
I would have loved to have been in their meetings this week and hear that grizzled old defensive coordinator talk about, well, you did okay, guys. We did all right. Holding them to 13 was pretty good. But this week, I expected to be less than that.
I'm going to need to hear that a lot more often. I don't know what it was, but I liked it. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He'll drop to throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The numbers for Mixon last week, 17 carries, 101 yards.
And give him a ton of credit. He's running the ball really well. But I look at those guys up front. That unit is truly playing as just that. Every move that they make, their teammate understands what that move means and what they need to do. And right now, they're starting to grind it out pretty well.
Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Encroachment, defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it. Got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
They only need a yard here. 3rd down and 1 after the penalty.
Now let's go. Blue line it.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up. And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. He got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw here. To Mixon on the check down. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
I know you saw in your email that the ballots will be coming in after this week's games for league MVP. You've got a vote, I've got a vote. We're getting ready to see a closing argument in this one, though. Can he lock it down?
Week 17, the last act. We're not supposed to say who we're voting for, but I can say this. He's in the stadium right now. So there you go. There's my hint.
There's your hint right there. I'm going to wait until after this one is over. He's got to sway me with one more performance.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget, his main use, kick returner. Knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
Now it's Carson. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. Here's Cincinnati defensively right now in the NFL ranked number 12 against the pass. Against the pass, just numbers that they haven't liked. Number 30 in the league right now.
And it's really difficult to prepare for this team. This is the #1 overall passing team in the NFL. But it shouldn't be hard to get excited about playing against them. The ultimate test going against that unit.
And that's why you and I are excited to broadcast this game.
Yes, sir. And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. From the gun, it's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And they better put that ball to the side because with that catch, he's a new single-season receiving yards record holder.
What a fantastic year. And we saw it start early, didn't we, partner? Right out of the gate, we knew he was going to have a tremendous year, but who knew it would culminate in breaking this all-time record.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself the best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so.
And this is caught. It's a big play there for Seattle. 43 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on first and goal. Again, Wilson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
All right, here we go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. One quarter down here on a frigid December night. 7-3 the score. We'll return to Cincinnati after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Here we go now.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Now let's go. Blue landing.
He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Pass incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. Looking to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. Uses the spin. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I have to say that was a surprise call on 3rd and inches. I thought they'd try and run the football there, but you got to believe they thought they'd surprise the defense and pick up something downfield. But that one goes incomplete.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Oh, a nice spin. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The 4th down run.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A little antsy on the left side
Still
of the
first
line.
down.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get-off on the snap, jump too quickly.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. The tackle there by Richard Sherman. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, you're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Give him 17 at a Cincinnati 1st down.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. Throw left side complete. That's Porter. And he's got room. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Now that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Now back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Back to throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's 2nd and goal.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Mixon trying to punch it in, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They come out here in the I. Here's Mixon. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bengals are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. A very solid gain of 27.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from right now. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And with that touchdown reception, we have a new single-season leader. We were waiting for this moment. We got to see it here.
How much fun is it that we were here to see it? And this guy's able to catch touchdown passes from everywhere. Red zone, out in the field. It didn't matter. You put it in his vicinity, he carried it over the goal line.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here. First and 10.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there.
False start, offense.
And that'll set him back 5. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
A handoff to Mixon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's a give to Mixon. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, where it was the Browns who were winners in that one at home. Jarvis Landry leading the way with 3 touchdown catches. From there, we head down south to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Detroit Lions. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This will be fielded at the 6. Oh, spinning away. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Right back to him on first down. Finding room to the 20. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good pickup there of 20 yards. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
All right, here we go.
Now Joe Mixon. And an alley to run. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it a 2nd down.
Not an ideal spot to be on 1st down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's got it. Got his man on the in route. Complete. 70th catch for him on the year. Like so many others, this goes for a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now they run with Mixon down right around the 25. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll set up the throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bobby Wagner in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Well, no chance to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Going for the deep ball. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. Deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was a crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
This is Carson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Room here to run. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. 51 yards. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. So he's in for his 3rd score of the game, and defense probably saying, man, we don't want to see this guy for a long time.
It's bad enough when anyone scores a touchdown against you, but for one person to get 3, it almost sets him apart from the rest of the game, and no one likes to see any of those players on a pedestal, not from the defensive point of view.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
3-19! 3-19!
It's Mixon on the counter, and that one blown up quickly. as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They're going to look to throw, and that is incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Returnable for Lockett. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with the recipe of the ground game. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Now Wilson on 1st down. Flush to his right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Wilson going to throw again. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Extra point safely through, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Here's Carson. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. He spins free. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellows up front in order to bring this one home.
The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
Yes, sir.
And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Here's Wilson. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Now the extra point. And oh my goodness, this is nowhere close. Well to the right and no good. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. 76 yards. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
They're going to try and run. And he'll find his way in for two. And we're back to a two-score game. The lead's cut to 16. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a two-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the two-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. Here's a great example right there.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Decent start defensively to this series. They've got to stop them here and get this ball back.
I like the way you phrase that, partner. Decent start. But now it's got to be more about the ball. It's all about the ball. Getting it away from them, because making good tackles is one thing, but the clock will run out on you. You've got to have the football back for your offense.
They run again with Carson. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On third down, that's Carson. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They run it with Carson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Seahawks on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And his kick here is good. And that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Frank Clark in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. And they don't get the reception. Incomplete. So now they're down to 17 seconds remaining.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Now whistles and a flag. And I believe a Bengal got going a little early there.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15.
Let's go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Dumps it off to Mixon. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a 3-yard gain, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Seahawks, they'll wrap up the campaign an impressive 15-1. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they lose their 9th game on the year. And it will be a disappointing finish to the regular season, no doubt. And for Charles...